It's a brand new year, and that means it's a time of change. That applies to this little YouTube channel as well. There's some things I need to talk to you guys about. Stick around.
Oh, another one came and got it. Whoa, look at you, buddy. Whoa, where are you going? Come, oh, he's digging.
Welcome back to Lowbrow Fishing, and as I said in the opening, there's some things we need to talk about. See, it's been almost 3 years to the day since I started this little adventure. I wanted this channel to be a place where I could talk about my 40 plus years of experience on the water and all the tips and tricks and everything that was handed down to me, but I wanted to do it as inclusively as I possibly could. I wanted it to be for bank anglers as well as boat anglers. And I also wanted to have an emphasis on budget because, especially right now, there's not a lot of extra money going around and people don't have the means to buy all the fancy gadgets and gizmos. So I wanted to say, hey, those rods and reels you've got out in your garage, you can go out on the lake and you can catch fish and you can have a great time with that. But there's some things you learn being a YouTuber, especially whenever you're trying to do it to grow, whenever you're trying to grow a channel and turn it into something. Now, if you're just making videos and you're just, putting them out there for your own sake or for whatever, that's something different. But for myself, I'm trying to grow this. I'm trying to make it something bigger. Always constantly trying to put out the best product. And to that end, it's a full-time job and then some. I'm constantly putting in overtime. This channel is what I do. It's 30 or 40 hours a week out on the water, followed by another 20 to 30 hours a week at the very minimum in the editing room. So I don't have a lot of free time. And I noticed some things. Well, first and foremost, if you want to be a YouTube angler, you got to get good. You need to be good at everything because anglers can spot BS. They will know if you don't know what you're talking about. They'll spot it, especially guys who are familiar with that technique. As an example, before I started doing YouTube, I wasn't much of a drop shot fisherman. I like to drag a worm. I like to drag a jig. Those were my ways of mostly fishing, and I've never shied away from that. I was good at burning a crank. I was good at using things like a spinnerbait. But being a YouTube angler, you've got to be good at everything because you don't want to have a limited repertoire to draw from. You have anglers from all over the country, as a matter of fact, sometimes from all over the world, that are asking you questions and expect you to know what you're talking about. And why am I saying all this? Well, this channel has been a lot of hard work and I've put my heart into it, but I really haven't seen the growth that I wanted. After 3 years, not even at 7,000 subscribers yet. Now, I do get a lot of views, especially for my size, but, I have no one to blame but myself. You hear a lot of guys saying, a lot of other YouTubers say, hey, 90% of you aren't subscribing. Get down there and hit that subscribe button. But quite honestly, I'm not blaming the viewer. It's my fault. If I want to get more subscribers, I need to put out more engaging, more informative content. That way, you want to hit that subscribe button. And that's what I want to do. I want to grow this channel. So I'm going to make some radical changes. Now, you're still going to get the best content that I can think of. I'm going to talk all about the tips and tricks, but I'm going to take it to the next level. See, like this guy right here. See, went out and got some new toys, obviously, and this new 6th Sense jig, which I am very eager to try. Looks like just a regular jig, but it's actually not. It's actually like a wobble head. It's got a screw lock here in it. And pull it out. Got a little screw lock right there. And an EWG hook. There's no brush guard. Like I said, it's a wobble head. I'm anxious to try that out, and I'm anxious to see how it does in the water. I want to compare it to something like, an old slither rig or punch rig, which is just a bullet weight and a skirt, something that I've used quite often. Is that any better? And the way I'm going to do that is something very special. This guy right here. This is an underwater drone. This is going to allow me to take this channel to the next level. It's going to allow me to give you guys the information that you need and will help me learn and become a better angler and hopefully a better teacher. I can take this little camera right here is 4K and it's 60 FPS and it's got some bright LED lights on it. So I can take this into the darkest, murkiest parts of the lake and we can see what's going on. Not just with bass behavior, but also with how lures react. The slider rig, the punch rig versus that wobble head jig. Is there much of a difference? Do the fish, how do they react to it? I'll be able to do stuff like take your electronics, even if you have nothing but a cheap 2D Lowrance Hook 2, which is what I'm putting on that little plastic boat. I can take that screen and compare it to what we're seeing underwater. And we can go through it together and we can try to interpret it. So, I've always approached things with the mentality of hard work gets the best results. So I want to double down, I want to triple down on the amount of effort that I'm going to put in this channel. And hopefully it'll pay dividends and you guys will really, really start to see the rewards and we'll be able to grow this channel, grow this community together. Because I love doing this and it is hard. It is not an easy job. It takes a lot out of you. But the one thing that I hear other YouTube anglers talking about is burnout. They're tired of fishing. I'll be honest. I want to keep the focus of this channel on catching fish so I don't get burnt out. I look forward to every single time I go out to the water. That hasn't changed, and I don't think it ever will. I've been doing this over for 40 years, so, I just want to take this time and let everybody know that this is going to be the way the channel is going forward. I'm going to try to dig in deeper. I want to be able to give out the best information that I can. I want everybody to be able to pick this apart and we can have discussions about the best ways to do stuff. And maybe we'll all come up with some new insights that will really take our bass fishing to the next level because, that's what it's about. See, 3 weeks from now, the pre-spawn starts in this area, which is kind of crazy because right now it's 27 degrees here and I'm freezing my butt off as I'm making this video. In case you can't tell, it's pretty darn cold out here. But in 3 weeks, the pre-spawn is going to start. And by that time, I want to be able to implement all these things that I want to do. I want to be able to get those things going. And hopefully, it will really revolutionize how this channel operates. Like I said, growth is the main thing. I'm always after growing the channel, and I appreciate you guys so much for sticking with me throughout the entire thing. But I want to grow. And in order to do that, well, I think I'm going to have to just try harder.